Hi, everybody. This is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, Carnivore, Carnivish, and the ever adored and loved cuppa. Here's to you. So, are you getting momentum in all the things that you might need to do as we get into the season? Halloween is pretty easy compared to the expectations of the other two or three or four or five holidays, right? So here we are, and all is well in my little world. I just keep doing my mostly carnivore food plan. I find that often my meat ounces increase a little bit, so I don't have two or three eggs like I was kind of having before, as I was kind of getting used to more carnivish way of eating. And now I just go for it. And if there's room for one egg in the calorie count for the day, I throw that in just for good measure. And as Marla likes to say, it's gravy on top of that beef. And yes, it is. I do love yolks, and that's no yolk. Oh my God. Yeah, keep your day job. Okay, I will. So, how do you find that you're doing with all in your life? I know about a month ago I mentioned doing the some elimination. For me, it was xylitol. I've got a lot of xylitol in the house. It feels weird to donate it to the food pantry. I mean, it's like, well, it was expensive for starters. I've got like a 5 pound bag that was like 35 pounds, I think, $35. But it is what it is, and it's out of my body, and I am enjoying that. There's a little monk fruit in the sweetened keto. This happens to have 15 grams of the maple pumpkin keto, no carbs, um, some MCT fat, no fat, a little protein, a wee bit of protein, and 15 calories, I think, 15 to 18 calories in 1 tablespoon. That works for me. I also have 14 grams of Fourth and Heart ghee in it. I bought Vital Farms ghee at Whole Foods yesterday, so we'll see how that tastes. So I enjoy my coffee. I enjoy my meats. I love my eggs, love my butter, and life is good. Right, Lori? What is it? Beef, eggs, cheese, butter, well, coffee, and the non-dairy creamer. So I don't have dairy 6 days of the week, but on Saturday I have my fathead pizza. And of course that's a lot of cheese in one day, but that's it. It's a special treat. I never get tired of it, and my body doesn't seem to react to that cheese, so I continue to have it. It just keeps me stable. It's not in case of an emergency. It's kind of the pull down thing that's next to in case of the emergency. It's not an emergency that I have my very modified keto fathead pizza. It's just something that keeps me from craving. It saves me when I happen upon ads that I can't get out of fast enough where I have to see it. And so for me, it's always just been the this works along with the mostly meat and a couple of eggs food plan. It just does. I like feeling how I feel. Sometimes my osteoarthritis acts up, but I think that's weather related. I'm sure that if I wasn't having this food plan, I'd be in a whole lot of pain, and I'd need help making a bed, doing stairs, things like that. So I don't take it for granted any part about this. I know that the non-scale victories, I've become so adjusted to them. It's not that I'm ungrateful, but I'm not thinking about where I would be without them. I run into elderly people all the time, and or I see them in stores, and I just say, where did you get off rails? Is it the standard American diet that just got you kind of overweight and crippled and slow moving, and now you take meds and they have side effects, and it's just a sad thing. And I know that so many people feel that their meds keep them going. Um, I suppose if America and or Canada were surveyed, most wouldn't have a clue that it's their choices of foods that make them feel the way that they do. So, one person I'm working with was mentioning that she probably didn't get enough salt. It's not the magnesium and the potassium. And this was from a tape on a recording from Dr. Cyrez. And it's not that, it's the salt. And I know so many carnivore people don't have the other electrolytes per se. They might be in the meats, the potassium and the magnesium, but they make sure they get plenty of salts. And I'm a big agreeer of that, for cramps, for just just in your blood, how you feel. I know that in the summer, at the height of the could be dizzy from so much heat and humidity, that it's not more fluid for me, it's more salt in the regular amount of fluid. And this isn't based on anything scientific, it's N equals 1, but like a cup of water with a lot of salt in it does more for me than 2 cups of water with no salt. I drink Gerolsteiner water, Gerolsteiner. It's the clear bottle with red, white, and blue label. I also do the San Pellegrino, and both of those waters work for me. And Topo Chico, my beloved Topo Chico. I love that water. And that I get it at Whole Foods. We don't have a Walmart here, so when it goes on sale, I'll buy another case. But I think I have about 3 cases right now, so I'm happy. And so I just muddle along with what I'm doing. It all seems to work. I have 45 grams of Brussels sprouts on Sunday from the big green egg to go with the ribeye. I did go to the butchery yesterday. I got 4 ribeyes, 2 T-bones, 2¼ pounds of ground top sirloin, and 2½ pounds of short ribs. And I put the short ribs in with some organic broth in aluminum foil, not tightly woven, so the broth kind of mixes with the short ribs, and I cooked that for 14 hours overnight. So that's all cleaned up, and the short ribs are put away. I did make a short rib stew to have Monday with part of that ground beef that I bought, patty, and it contains 1 ounce of Brussels sprouts, 1 ounce of cauliflower, and the short rib beef and the broth. And then I cooked a little 5-ounce burger to have next to that. And when there's more room in the bowl from the stew, I'll add that in. And yeah, it's divine. I love my beef. So it's funny. I have somebody that I give regular rides to who is a vegan, and she's young and very, very smart, and we talk about it a lot. And I tell her about the sales at Whole Foods because I know that she needs to figure out how to do it, and I told her I got like a 6-pound organic cauliflower head there, and it was $2.99 or $3.99, I think, and it's organic, and it's like bigger than my head. It's like, like a pumpkin. And what a deal that is. So if you still have veggies in your life, or somebody does that you cook for, and you have a Whole Foods, chances are you're going to get better bang for the buck when you go there. So yeah, I have all the meat secured. I did buy 2 almost a pound each pork chops at Stamacket, don't you know? And I might end up freezing them. I'm not sure if I have enough already without having the pork chop. So that's the wild card if I need it. So as we get closer into the week, I'll see. So tomorrow, as I record this, is the big green egg. And so Greg will be cooking 4 ribeyes and the 2 T-bones, and that's 3 meals there. Short ribs make 4, messy burger makes 5, pizza makes 6. Yeah, so I probably will need the pork chops when all is said and done. So he'll smoke those for a couple of minutes on each side too, and then I'll slow cook them in some coconut oil on top of the stove, and then bake them so they just fall apart. Yummy. I love food. Have you ever Notice that about me? Food, 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 food. It's not that I'm obsessed, it's that I love it. Is there a difference? So I'm about ready to bathe and get ready for my Uber day. It is 3:53 in the morning, and I like that. This video is not brought to you by any letter. It's just a little catch up of the day. Catch up. I was never into condiments at all. Never. As a just in all of my 69 years, no ketchup, no mayo, no relish, no mustard. Um, Salads, I just I probably put vegetable oil on it, as a kid. Didn't know growing up, it's so funny, growing up in this well-to-do, privileged town, if you saw the kitchen, you'd call in a food pantry to make a drop-off. There's no such thing as extra virgin olive oil. There was never any real butter. Eggs, are you kidding? And it's just so funny that, like, I end up eating all the stuff that you never found. I grew up with parents for alcoholics, so food wasn't on their top 10 list. It was for me. It was my first addiction and will always be an addiction that I maintain. And the way that I do that is still weighing and measuring my food and still putting it in the chronometer, which I said is usually, it's more like a meal planner, but because I'm used to having the same things, using the small fork, using the small knife, using the small plate, and all of that has just worked for me. I started I started Overeaters Anonymous in the mid 70s and, accepted the addiction. And so I've been maintaining it in the way that I've maintained it. So that's 25, it's almost like 45, 46 years later, I'm still doing OA practices. And, I don't eat when I'm standing. I don't nibble. I don't lick spoons. I don't take something off of somebody else's plate. I have to be real careful because those, few little things trigger to the next, which is the bite away from gaining back all the weight and losing all control. So my food maintenance has different levels of attention that it needs because I need to be safe. So the sitting down, the smaller plates, the smaller utensils are just a given. We don't go out to eat anymore because, one, the stuff that I buy, the meat at the butchery is great. You're not going to really find grass-fed in a restaurant anyway. So if the best Brazilian restaurant in town has the same meat that I'm buying from the butcher store next door, it works for me. And yep, I have beef every day. I guess, I get the labs done because the doctor orders them, but they're for her to look at and get discouraged, not me. No statins in my world. And so I get plenty of salt, plenty of beef, plenty of coffee. And water, and life's a good thing. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.